Alright. Hi everyone. It is me, Sailor Moon. And me, Sailor Saturn here. Or Sailor Ringworld here. And today we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about why did UPN and WB back in the day put us on bad time slots. We're not going to talk about what USA and later on Cartoon did for us, but we're going to talk about why did UPN and WB put us at bad times. Now, a lot of folks might wonder, growing up, if anyone was into Sailor Moon, what times did UPN and WB have it on? Well, sundriest times, depending on what offshoot which one you were watching it from. If you're watching it from UPN 19 or WB 22, which was ours, you would have seen it at least at 6 or 6:30 in the morning. And the watch time, or looking for any show like that, is not going to be good. Most kids are still asleep or getting up in the morning. So, yeah. Someone at UPN or WB had put us at 6 o'clock because that was the only time slot they had open. And the watch time did not come. Or if it did, it didn't come as much. Now, at the end of the day, we should be thankful that we even got on UPN and WB. Yes, they were one of the very few folk works that carried that broadcasted my show. Now, here's what some folks would think. You put my show on at a time where it's not very few folks are awake, and then you're gonna bitch about how the watching and the watching time and the looking, didn't come in. So you're not going to really get too many folks buying showing time before or after, in the middle or after that show. So yeah, why UPN and WB gave us the bad time slot, your guess is as good as mine. Unlike the Mic Keepers, well, by that time they had gotten their 4:30 in the afterday time on Fox. So yeah. Now, also keep in mind at the time that our show was a new show, and most folks, and there probably were shows that didn't want their time shifted for some new show, some drawing show, which had never ever had any, that had never ever was broadcast on that folk work before to take their time. You want to go on now? Yeah. And if you were lucky enough to have watched Sailor Moon back in the day on UPN or WB, either you were lucky enough and you woke up at that time, or you either had to set your film player to time film it. So that was the only two ways you were going to see the film back in the day. This was before film shows. This was before filming. These were before the days of, of wired, farseer boxes with, with filming in them. So that's probably the only way that that's probably the only way that you would have saw it. Now, later on, then UPN and WB end our show halfway through the 2-disc. Not even really that far through the 2-disc following. And the grounds is, well, We don't get a lot of watching time and a lot of looking. Showing businesses are not, are not putting are not putting on their showings at that time. Well, I wonder why. Because you put it on at 6 or 6:30 in the morning, where watch time is not its greatest, or whatever show it happens to be. Um, you know, and then you're gonna kill our show about it. So yeah, our show only ran on UPN and WB and 9 between 95 YL. Well, it was around the same time that both of those folk works started. Now, yes, later on our show would be picked up by USA and later on by Cartoon, but that was years later. Yeah. Alright, yeah, you're right, Sarah Yornis. At the end of the day, my show only ran from 9 between 95 YL on UPN and on WB. And the grounds to why they ended my show then, because, well, the watch time isn't coming through, the look time isn't coming through, but at the end of the day, whose mistake was that? They can't guilt it on me. You have to guilt it on whoever at UPN and WB back in the day who said, well, 6 o'clock and 6:30 will work. So, yeah. Why did UPN and WB put us on at that time? Your guess is good as mine. There may have been some other show that had already been on for some time. It was on at those other times, and they didn't want their time to be shifted to some other time because some new show came along and was to be put at that time. So your guess is good as mine. Anyway, that's all the time I'm going to talk about. The time that I was on UPN and WB and 9 between 95 YL. Both folk works are no longer around anymore. Both of them now become the CW, which is still a thing, even to this day. So anyway, if you like this film, then follow me over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the other film we made yesterday over here, when me and Sailor, Neptune talked about how the unstraight were cleaned or handled by Deacon Cloverway. I, Sailor Moon Serena, and I, Sailor Saturn Ataru, will see you later.